Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG review show. Yay! Yes, it's us. We're back again for another TNG review show with my co-hosts, Mazza McBob and G-Star. How you doing, guys?
Very good, thank
Gary's
you.
still on mute. Gary, unmute yourself.
Oh, he is on mute. I'm very good, though. Thank you.
There we go.
No, I just think you're a bit hard of hearing.
Well, that's not entirely not true.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm not bad. I've had quite a nice week. Apart from my son's got the dreaded COVIDs. Apart from that, but he's doing well. He's in good spirits, and the rest of us have
Is he
tested.
like shut up in his room somewhere?
He is. Well, we just
Under lock and key.
we've locked him in the garage. So
Oh right, so he's got his gaming stuff
yeah,
there.
so he's all
Yeah,
right.
so he spends most of his time anyway.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, what a shame! I have to stay home and do that all week. Oh, bummer.
He's rediscovered the delights of Fortnite. So
Oh yes.
yeah. Yes. So good evening to you two guys. Now this evening I tried something different with the stream of scheduling it to build hype and excitement. I'm not sure that really worked, but it did work. We are live on that event, so we'll be doing that.
Trailblazer says Hydro has it too, by the way, and he's locked in his room too.
No.
Sorry.
No,
Just
no.
'cause it was related to
Poor
the last
Hydro.
time. Didn't mean to
Well,
interrupt.
get well soon, Hydro. Yeah.
And now,
Get
pal.
well soon.
Yes.
And our pal.
And our pal.
Bless.
Yeah, and Trailblazer did join us, but then I think is gone. Said, have a great show. We'll be able to stick around now, but we'll catch up when I can.
Yeah. Trailblazer tends to watch this whilst he's doing the dishes during the week. Yeah. And answers the questions all to himself, to his own kitchen wall.
I wonder how many times he's actually won, but not in real time.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
No.
The picture is good, Smiler. The picture is good. Monty was a bit fuzzy for a while, but he's now back in the world of clarity.
Yeah, it's the autofocus on my. We're also trialing, as well as the scheduling. I'm also trialing ultra lag or less
And
lag.
they're all saying Stuplum's saying it's out of focus, and Smiler's saying it's out of focus.
What
So
me?
the
or-
image on YouTube. No, I think in general.
Well, it might be the fact that I'm trying the old ultra,
The low lag.
the low lag.
I can see what they mean. It's quite I can see it on my phone. It's quite a blurry, bit of a blurry image.
Is it? Well, that didn't work then, did it?
Not as well as one might have hoped.
No.
Looks good for Trailblazer. Looks good for me.
All right. Well, I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't undo.
For those of you that have us a little bit blurred, just really be thankful. Let's continue.
Yeah, the world's out of focus to Karen, so I'm not sure it'd make any difference.
Oh, Karen, I don't know if you can see in the background there.
She probably
Little
Karen
boy
if
on a
it's,
chair.
We have a rather larger Chewy.
if it's out of focus and on our phone, she probably can't see anything. There's a slight
No.
brown blur over here.
He's on the sofa.
Well, this was a trial, so we'll have to see, whether it improves or not. Because at the end of the day, the stream started now, so I can't actually change those settings once the stream's up and running. So we're just gonna have to live with it, and if that doesn't work, then we'll change it for the next stream.
Yeah.
So yes.
I always say we're better on audio than visual anyway.
Yeah, I mean, who would want to look at us, to be honest?
Well, I say that because there was one episode that I wasn't present for. I was away with work, and I was listening to the show whilst I was driving. Can you remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, because I've got it on, it's going through my car system, through my phone. But I'm not watching it. I'm just listening to it. And it was actually quite a lot of fun just listening to it, like you would a podcast.
Well, I guess other than putting the static pictures up on the screen, it is mostly a verbal show, isn't it, to be fair?
Yeah.
Smiler Rainbow says hers is improved.
Right,
it's
okay.
caught
Maybe
up,
it was just...
It's caught up with itself. And, so, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be able to answer the questions a little bit more in sync with us tonight, because we're trying this low latency approach. But we'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll go back to the standard one next week if it causes quality issues.
Yeah.
So next up, I'll say hello to
Plum
chat.
says he'll have some more blood wine.
Oh, yes. Yes, good evening, Stu Plum. Good evening, Trailblazer, as we've said. Good evening, Karen. And there's no Mickey yet today. So Mickey's still on his way back from the gym, probably.
Expect so.
I expect.
Panting and puffing.
Yeah, panting and puffing. He's a darn sight fitter than we are, that's for sure.
Too right.
And this evening, we're trialing, instead of blood wine, tonight we've got... blood gin.
Kind of looks a bit like blood wine.
Yeah.
Blood gin.
So Mazza Bob and myself have got quite a lot of... we subscribe to this monthly gin subscription, the little gin box. And we have a few to get through. So we thought, well, we'll be bringing you new gins every TNG review show. So tonight's gin is Trevethan Mixed Berries. Yeah.
Tonight's show has kindly been sponsored by Gin of the Week.
Trevethan Gin.
Yeah, so let's just have
a try.
And a side sponsor of Minstrels.
Oh, that's a bit tasty.
That's my blood wine.
Very nice.
Catch you later, Trailblazer.
Subtly fruity.
Laters, Trailblazer.
Laters.
So, even though the quality may not be great and, we may be a bit fuzzy, don't forget to like the stream, though.
Yes.
Well
done.
Smash that like button.
And if you haven't done so already, hit the notification button as well. Always helps to remind you every Wednesday of the TNG review show.
Be cool.
Very cool. Thank you, G. Right. So I was going to say this evening and tonight at the same time, and I got this night.
The site.
That didn't work, did it? Tonight's episode.
Scores on the doors.
Oh, we got admin, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Somebody missed him.
Sorry, I just thought I'd stop you before you got to
no, that's a very good point, G. Very good.
And don't forget about pictures.
I've got the pictures already here, look. But you can forget about that because that's going now because we've got to bring up the right.
It was just one missing, is it?
Just the one.
So what's your score, G? Before you look at what we scored. Don't look at what we scored.
Oh, no. I won't put it on season 3.
Oh, right, okay.
We're looking at season 1
no,
scores.
it's all right. You're good.
Okay. Well, I got my paddle.
Go on then.
3, 2, 1. Here we go for Who Watches the Watchers?
An 8.
Nice.
An 8 for Who Watches the Watchers. It was a triple 8. A triple 8 score.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Best episode so far. Good score.
Yeah, it's quite a bit above the others. Yeah, we thought it was a very decent episode last week.
Yeah. It's a good
So
one.
do I. I mean, it's the storyline, isn't it? I mean, the storyline was so good that they actually later down the line made a film pretty much based on it.
Yeah. That's what we said.
And so, that speaks volumes for... And it is just one of those ones I think you remember. And then there was also... I don't know why I like it, but I like the fact that the sort of race of people that were on the planet were like an offshoot of Vulcan and Romulan. I don't know why I liked that, but
The Mintakans. Yeah, they were pretty cool.
They were. I just read Stu
Yeah,
Plum
Stu
says,
Plum's-
Mickey goes to the gym. We're going to the gin. Yeah, very good. Very good. Like it.
It's like so the same, but so different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, the bonding.
The
Here we are.
bonding. This week's episode. Yeah. So let's get into it. The teaser. The Enterprise has arrived at a planet that appears to be uninhabited. They have sent down Worf and an archaeology team, and they report that the planet was inhabited by a race called the Canonians, I think. Data confirms that they were embroiled in a war that ultimately wiped themselves out. Troy's spidey senses kick in, that the away team are in trouble, and shouts out that they need to be beamed up. Just then, Worf hails in that they are indeed in trouble, so Picard orders them to be beamed directly to sickbay. The away team arrive in sickbay, where Dr. Crusher finds that one of them is dead on arrival.
Or as they otherwise say, DOI or DIA?
DOI.
DOA.
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 DOA, yes.
Yeah.
DOI.
She was DOA.
There isn't a DOI, is there? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
There's a MIB.
DUI.
There's a
DUI,
CIA.
driving under the influence.
Yeah, that was it. That was what I was thinking of.
They might be thinking like MIA, missing in action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, MIA.
Well, I work for the civil service and we love our acronyms. So, yeah.
Troy has spidey senses. Yes, Smiley has spidey senses.
He does.
The thing is, though, what's a bit odd is she's like, oh my God, they're in trouble. And then there's an explosion. But like, so Troy is now clairvoyant, or she can see into the future? Because how could she have been sensing that they were in trouble if the explosion hadn't even happened yet and it was a complete surprise to them?
Maybe
Bit odd.
the explosion has intent. The explosives.
Yeah.
The explosives are
Maybe-
sat there going, I'm going to get those buggers. She's like, what's that?
Maybe like YouTube, there's a lag on the communications, you know. So
Yeah, maybe.
maybe it
She
actually
said something had gone
happened.
wrong, and then it took 5 seconds for Worf's message to get up to them.
Yeah.
That could be.
That could be it. Right, moving on with the scene. Oh, not quite yet. We're not quite there, are we? We're not quite there yet.
No.
Have we got a question, or are we waiting till later in the...
Well, yes, there is a question that could be posed at this present moment in time. I'm quite surprised you didn't say her name. We just referred to her as dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the first question.
Time. Sorry, I've
Yeah,
got an
question
echo.
time.
Yeah.
Is everybody ready? Okay. So, eyes down then. First question to get that ensign rank and get those all-important 25,000 TNG points. No, just 25. I'm not going the way of the Monty and all that
Just
ridiculous silliness
25?
that obviously
Wow.
happened that I heard.
I personally have so many more to give away. I'm just rich with TNG points.
Clearly. Well, let's see if we can get you richer then with an extra 25. Okay. Marla Astor is the central character in this episode. The name Marla Astor also refers to, in history, a famous A, Marla Astor the composer, B, Marla Astor the actress, or C, Marla Astor the frontier pioneer, or D, Marla Astor the first female self-built millionaire, or E, none of the above.
I hate the E, none of the above option. I just... Who was Marla Astor named after, eh? Well,
Yeah, Smiler Rainbow says she's going to give you a character count for these questions to make sure you limit them to only a certain length.
yeah.
I think that's the longest. No, it's not. There's other questions that are longer.
All right,
Kaz is
so
already in there with the D.
there you go. See, this latency
Other
thing's
people
good, isn't
can,
it? It's
Yeah.
straight in there.
So this was Ronald D. Moore's first foray into writing Star
was it?
Trek, and then he did it for like 10 years after that. And I don't know. I know that sometimes G looks at the memory alpha stuff. But there was just this most amazing thing on there where it said that Moore attended one of the days of the shooting, and when he was there, he met Patrick Stewart for the first time, and he said that he was like super gracious and friendly and stuff. And when he found out he had written this episode, he said, "Are you going to be writing any more?" And he said, "Yeah, actually, I've just had another assignment," and briefly told him about his idea. So Patrick Stewart just sort of nudges sagely and then says, "Just remember one thing: the captain in this show doesn't do enough screwing or shooting," and then he just kind of saunters off. I think that's really great. Are you writing any more? Like, hint, hint.
Yeah.
That seems very Patrick Stewart-ish.
It does. It does. No, nobody was listening to him, though, were they?
No. I mean, the thing is, do you ever think like his character would have had quite, the gravitas that it had if he went around like Riker nailing everything that moved?
No.
It just wasn't the same as like in Kirk's era,
It's not the same, is it?
It's not really the thing for the captain to be doing. He commands respect. No. It's not yeah.
Anyway, we got a D, a B. I'm going to go C. Maz, what are you going?
Oh, go E.
E. Right. We've got an almost full spectrum apart from A.
He says it's A.
Nobody went with composer.
No, nobody went with composer. That is a bit shameful. So, in chat, we don't have an ensign. On the live stream, we do have an ensign.
Oh.
What was your answer, Monty?
Mine was Frontier Pioneer, C.
And what was yours, Maz?
E, none of the above.
Oh, it's none of the above.
Well done, Ensign Maz.
Ah.
Well done.
Hate that E.
There is no notable Marla Astor.
Didn't think so, but
the story behind the question and why is because I heard the name Marla Astor and I thought, Astor, isn't that the name of the rich guy that was on the Titanic? And I'm like, I wonder whether they took the name from his wife or something like that. So then I started doing a bit of digging, and then I just found out that there's nobody notable in history called Marla Astor at all, or at least it didn't come up on Google. So I thought, well, rather than waste the 10 minutes that I've just wasted trying to chase that information, I thought I'll just make a question out of it still.
Montalban's checking his watch.
He's just being a sore loser. That's all he's being.
So you decided, I won't waste my time. I'll just waste everybody else's.
Yeah!
Great.
Funny.
Act 1.
Continue.
In Picard's log, we find out that the away team member that died was Lieutenant, I was not named after anyone famous, Marla Astor, one of the ship's archaeologists. Worf informs Picard that their scans did not pick up any traps or explosives, and there was no warning. Troy enters sickbay and informs Picard that Astor is survived by a 12-year-old son called Jeremy, and that his father died when he was a small child. He still is a small child. Anyway, his only living relatives are an aunt and uncle who live on Earth. Worf offers to tell the boy as he led the away team, but Picard says he appreciates the offer, but it is his responsibility. Whilst heading to talk to Jeremy, Picard signals the bridge and orders Riker to tell Geordi to put together another away team to investigate what happened on the surface. On the bridge, Wes tells Riker that Picard had to do the same thing for him, and Riker confirms that that's life in Starfleet. Wes asks, how do you get used to giving family these terrible bad news? But Riker replies that you hope you never have to. I guess he means not give the bad news, but you never get used to. You should never get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere on the ship, in a blue room, Worf extinguishes a candle with a knife. That was it.
Random.
That was that entire scene. It was just
right,
Worf
yeah.
extinguishing a candle with a knife in a blue room. And that leads to today's Klingon word of the day.
Hey.
And you need picture.
We don't have a picture of that.
No, but I
Of
mean,
Worf extinguishing the...
the picture was
I
of
do.
Picard talking to
Wait a
Jeremy.
minute. Wait a minute. It just so happens. There you go. See? There you go. There's Worf extinguishing. That leads to today's Klingon word of the day. And that is the name of that knife. Very Klingon knife. First used in Star Trek 3. The search... the search for Spock. Does anybody know the name of the
I
knife?
can't remember.
It's I swear it begins with an R.
It's a...
No.
I'll tell you. It's a duck
No.
tag.
Tag.
A duck tag. So there you go.
So that doesn't even begin with an R.
No, it's D.
No.
It's like a D apostrophe...
Should have known, really. It's Klingon. Everything begins with a D.
D apostrophe Q and then tag. T-A-H-G. Tag. Duck tag. There you go. That's what it is.
Cool.
If you ever see those knives now, you know what they're called. You know a batleth? You have a batleth and a duck tag. So there you go.
Nice.
There you go. I had a Klingon word of the day. I remembered to do it this week. How good is
Nice.
that?
I had a prompter in my notes in case we didn't. Because he it says about asking him to do roostai later, and I thought, oh, that could be Klingon word of the day.
Well done, Monty. Just for that, and because I'm so rich with him, I'm going to give you 25,000 TNG points.
Thank you very much. All right.
And then, in a minute, I'm probably going to take them away. So,
Probably. Most likely. But yeah, I did think that was a funny little scene because in itself, it has no relevance to anything at the moment. It's just kind of...
It's just letting you know that he's in ritual mood, I guess.
He is. He's that way inclined at the moment. He's heading in that direction. So Troy...
he's in that real awkward mid-length hair stage as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
In these episodes, where he kind of looks a little bit like a woman.
It's kind of a bob, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
shoulder length bob. Yeah. Make up your mind. Have it short or long, but you know. Yeah. Troy accompanies Picard in a terrible lift where Picard laments Starfleet's policy of allowing families on board starships. He's always felt it's a questionable policy, as family members haven't signed up to the same risks as Starfleet officers have. Which is a good point, really. You know, I think we've said it a couple of times, haven't we, with these Galaxy-class starships who are coming up against these like weird anomalies and patrolling the neutral zone and things, and they've got schools and things on board. They're on the frontier of space. It's like, wow. It actually, I don't know if you know this, but they actually reversed that policy after the destruction of Enterprise D, because Enterprise E doesn't have children and families on board. Because the Starfleet are undergoing more threats from the Dominion and the Borg and things like that. So this is a sort of period of time. It's like the heyday of Starfleet, where things are the most quietest and the most progress has been made, and you know it's the greatest it'll be until it all goes to shit.
And then Trump becomes president and all just goes
It
wrong.
all just starts going downhill. Yeah. So,
like the real world, really.
yeah, well,
It's
Star Trek mirrors
poetic.
the real world, and it.
Yeah.
And this was the 1990s, which is like, kind of that point, where everything's just the greatest. Anyway, so yes, Picard breaks the news to Jeremy. Oh yeah, we've got a picture of that.
We do.
Sorry, I got to keep swapping between two brown windows. Where?
Oh, Mickey's here. I feel all of a sudden normalised.
Yay! It didn't feel right.
Oh,
without
we
Mickey.
missed you, Mickey.
Yeah, you missed the first question, dude. You missed the first question.
You'll have to catch up.
Oh, there's
To
something
be fair,
wrong.
I'm the only one that won the first question, and I got 25 points. So you don't have much to catch up.
I just noticed that chat was blocked. There we go.
Oh,
Yes. So what was I doing? I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yes.
Act 2.
No, we're still in Act 1. Picard's
Yeah.
breaking the news to Jeremy, who takes it bravely. He's a brave little soldier.
he does.
Yeah. But does mention that he is alone now. But Picard assures him that on the Enterprise, no one is alone. And that was the end of Act 1. Do we have a question time now, or should we move on?
Move on.
Move on. Act 2.
Move on.
Yeah. I don't know what the next... what's the next? Okay. Data finds Riker drinking alone in 10 forward and asks Riker how well he knew Lieutenant Astor. Riker says not very well.
Hold on a minute.
Okay.
You said he found Riker drinking alone.
Found Riker, yeah, drinking alone
Drinking alone.
in 10 forward.
But Picard just said that nobody can on the Enterprise is ever alone.
Well,
How can that be?
I know. Literally, the next scene disproves that. Yeah, it's very unlike Riker as well to be alone in 10 forward and not chatting up some lower decks.
Yeah.
Bit of skirt, isn't it? Anyway,
True that.
so yes, Riker confesses that he knew her, but not very well. So he asks Data the same thing, and Data's like, "What did you ask?" And Riker's really confused. He's like, "Well, because you asked me, so I'm now asking you." And it turns out that Data is asking because he's been asked a number of times himself, and he doesn't understand the human need for people to ask why they knew someone that had passed. Riker asks Data if he remembers what it was like when Tasha died, and Data confirmed that he doesn't feel the same level of absence with losing Astor as he did with losing Tasha Yar, and he doesn't understand why. And Riker tells him, well, it's human nature to mourn those who are closest. Geordie reports back that the away team have returned with a souvenir.
Hey! Hiya. Question time.
Ray, I was leaving a pause there. I was leaving a
time.
pregnant pause as I was thinking it's gonna be.
Everybody eyes down for the Lieutenant Commander question. TNG points up for grabs are 50. We have Ensign Mazza McBob at the moment, and everybody else is still just a crewman. So opportunity to get on the ranking. Marla Astor dies as a result of an explosive device left on the planet's surface, left over from the Iconian Wars. LaForge returns with a team to the planet to deactivate any further explosions. How many do they deactivate? A, 5, B, 10, C, 15, D, 20, or E, none of the above. Marla Astor dies as a result of an explosive device that's left on the planet's surface as a throwback from the Iconian Wars. LaForge returns with the team to the planet to deactivate any further explosive devices. How many do they deactivate? A, 5, B, 10, C, 15, D, 20, or E, none of the above.
Do you know what? I didn't even say it in my notes. Because I thought this is going to be easy for me. Easy points. It's going to be in my notes.
Stu, Plum, Mickey, and Karen have all answered A.
Well, I'm going A.
Interesting.
You're going what?
I'm going A.
I'm going E.
Well, you'll be wrong.
Okay, whatever you say.
Oh, it's going to be a trick question.
Why have
isn't
you
it?
all of a sudden gone really echoey?
Who, me?
Oh, that's because I moved my thingy up out of the way because I was drinking gin. Sorry.
So is that everybody's answers in then, is
Stupa,
it?
Mickey, Karen, me, Maz. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right. And Maz went for E, none of the above. Maz is the only one on the ranking at the moment.
It's brave, bold
However,
choice.
this time everybody else gets made Lieutenant Commander whilst Maz and Bob stays at Ensign rank. Well done, everybody. It was 5 that they deactivated.
I beg to differ, although I can't sort of prove it because we don't have the script here. But I do believe Geordie says that they found all of the bombs had been taken out of the wall and deactivated as if somebody had just left them there for them to find. So they didn't actually have to deactivate any.
Oh, well, they came back with 5 devices, though.
Yeah, but you said how many did they deactivate? They didn't deactivate any because they'd already been taken out and deactivated.
Well, I kind of said that he returns with a team to deactivate the devices.
Yeah.
And then how many? Oh, I did say how many they did.
Did they deactivate? Yeah.
So it was
that's why I thought
zero.
It was a
then.
trick question
It was, they
because the
found
answer was
5,
0.
but didn't deactivate any because they
But
were
that's
just lying
okay.
about.
Everybody else can have it right. I don't want to be in the lead anyway.
It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Good
we
job.
got
Good
Trailblazer
job,
back on
G.
the-
Oh,
Well,
Trailblazer's back.
you can tell that she's the one that does the research into the gags and the goose. Because to be fair, like that's just a technicality. You know, he said 5. He actually mentions 5 in the script.
If you'd said how many did they bring back, I'd have said 5. But you said how many did they deactivate, which was 0. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Continue.
So yes, in Picard's ready room, Data is inspecting Geordie's discovery and finds a proximity detector. It dates from the Canonian Wars. Geordie confirms that there were more. I don't say how many, and they appear to have been left lying around to be found. Troy talks to Worf in the computer access room. I believe this is the second time we've seen the computer access room. But yeah. He's annoyed.
Yeah, it was a really interesting shot though, because they're like, look, it's like through like a grid.
Oh, there you go.
Like the camera sort of pans around, whatever those like black grid things are on the wall. A lot of this scene is like looking at them through this black mesh, and it's really interesting. Like you get like Troy's face is just like in one of the black. I just thought it was a really cool camera angle and like the way they did it, and like they kind of moved about with the mesh sort of moving in front of the camera. It was really good. I liked it.
One thing I did notice about this episode is it's very close. All the shots are like the people's faces filling the screen. There's not many like big shots of like the entire bridge or anything. It feels very compact.
closed in.
Like when you in the ready room with Picard and the guys talking, you just see their faces together.
Rather than the whole table.
But rather than the whole table and the whole room, it doesn't make use of the sets so much because, well, we know what they are. It really concentrates on getting into those
the human element.
getting into those characters. Yeah. So,
I got you back, Trailblazer. I did notice that you got there just in time for the answers, so you've got the Lieutenant Commander promotion as well. And I do apologise for the technicality on the last question. As in a way of apology, I will deduct those 25,000 points from Monty. So.
damn it. Fair enough. Yeah. I can't say any fairer. Yeah. So yes, first time we've been back in the computer access room since a few episodes ago. Can't remember the name of the episode, but yeah, we're back. Anyway, he is annoyed that he allowed Aster's senseless death from a forgotten war. Troy tells him that he needs to learn to let go of his anger and talk to her like Picard does. Worf agrees to seek her counsel in regard to making Rustai Roostai
With the boy.
Yeah. Roostai, second Klingon word of the day. Yeah.
Third question of the week. Never mind.
Anyway, it's a Klingon ritual that bonds two lives together. Troy thinks that there's a generous offer, but Jeremy isn't Klingon and will not understand, and she advises him not to rush things. In his quarters, Jeremy is watching a home video, including the times he played with his pet cat, when Worf rings the doorbell. So he really listened to Troy's counsel of leaving it alone for a while. He left it alone for all of 30 seconds. Worf introduces himself and asks if he can enter, but Jeremy doesn't answer, though simply stating that Worf led the away team. Worf confirms that he did indeed lead the away team and was close to his mum when she died. Jeremy asks if he is Klingon, as he's been learning about them at school, and Worf tells them how Klingons don't mourn the passing of the body, but celebrate the release of the spirit. Jeremy is not really interested in what Worf has to say, though. In Picard's ready room, Troy tells Jeremy he is being brave, and Picard thinks that's good, but Troy tells him it's not. It's not good. He needs to release his emotions and mourn. Troy, though, is worried about Worf the most. He's struggling as much as the boy and tells him about Worf's desire to perform the Klingon ritual of the bonding. Troy doesn't think that the boy is ready for that, and Picard acknowledges Troy's greater role in these processes. That was quite a nice conversation between them, I think, because we often it's a shame Picard has to give these bad news, but as Picard says, all I have to do is go in and give him the bad news and then leave, and then you've got to see him through the whole mourning process. So, yeah.
This computer access room again, sorry, I just turned over my notes, and it does say that this was the second and final usage of this computer access room, apparently, which debuted 4 episodes ago in Evolution.
That was the one, Evolution. There we go. Yeah. I didn't realise it was the final. I'm sure we used this room again.
Don't know, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
And when Jeremy was watching the video of his mum, there was some kind of audio-visual sync thing with what was going on and what was dubbed over the top, but it's just a minor goof.
Right. Riker comms in from the bridge to say that they've detected movement on the surface. They go to the bridge and Troy's spidey senses are tingling again, and the sensors pick up something green on the surface of the planet that they put on the view screen.
You might know.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say you might know this more than me, but apparently when they're scanning the planet, you can see Valles Marineris, which is
Mars.
Some sort of formation on Mars.
It's a valley on Mars. Oh, here you go.
So they must have used some Mars escapes as part of the as part of that scanning.
Yes,
thing.
It's one of the largest canyons in the solar system. Yeah, that would literally span one side of America to the other if it was on Earth.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is where they're talking about the proximity device, and you can see what I mean about the close-up of the camera, how it's compact in with the cast.
You mean the 5 devices?
The five proximity devices. Yeah.
Although technically you only see 1, you don't actually get to see the 5. But the answer is still 5.
It's still 5. Yeah, it's still 5. I don't know if we've got a picture of them. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm going to have to share this. I see what you mean. So, here we have it.
Oh, the what? Valles Marineris.
There it is.
Ah.
Yeah, it's Mars. That's the
there
valley.
You go.
It's like the Rift Valley on Earth, but it's a lot bigger. It's because Mars doesn't have tectonics, doesn't have tectonic plates. So as the crust moved, and it just has basically one giant rift rather than loads of faults all over its surface. It has one giant split. That is what that is. It's like a giant scar across its surface. That was what it looked like in standard definition, but that was changed for the remaster. And they've kind of edited it, amended it, so it's still using the Rift Valley, but it doesn't look so much like Mars anymore. They've kind of made it thinner and longer, so they've tried to disguise it a little bit. So there you go.
There you go. I knew you'd know more about it than I did.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm just telling you what this website told me.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you still knew what this rift thingy was.
Yeah,
and
there's
everything,
some other
but...
pictures here. That's another one. Yeah, so there we go. We'll go back to the other. Go back to the other one. There we go. So, yes, so they picked up something green on the surface. They got some energy or something. Something's happening. In sickbay, Dr. Crusher has called Wes to her office. Oh, here you go. There they are, the two of them. To ask him if he'd go and talk to Jeremy about his experiences, as it would help for Jeremy to have someone to talk to. She points out that they had each other when Wes lost his dad, but Jeremy has no one. Wes isn't keen because he's not liking thinking about it. But Wes asks his mum if she ever thinks about his dad, as he sometimes can't remember now what his face looks like. And Bev says sometimes she can't get his face out of her mind. And Wes retells the day in clarity when Picard gave him the bad news, and Beverly gives her boy a hug. And it's a very emotional scene. Yeah.
Bit emotion.
It was a bit emotion, yeah.
Sad times.
Yeah.
I wrote.
I thought it was good acting from the both of them.
I didn't, but I'll write it.
It was good acting from the both of them.
I think this was the scene he was wanting in a few episodes ago when they said, "Oh, you've got a very important scene."
It's going to be a real moment, yeah.
Wouldn't have had this moment with Pulaski.
No,
I can tell you. Because if he did, it would have been a bit odd.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a really emotional. Even towards the end, Bev gets a little like tear in her eye, and I thought it's very emotional. It was very, very well done. On the bridge, they're still trying to work out what's going on. But once again, Troy's sensing something. Then in Jeremy quarters, his mum appears. End of Act 2.
Dearie me.
Dun, dun, dun,
Question
dun.
time. My questions from this point onwards are pretty non-linear, so it doesn't matter when I throw them in. So, yeah, this is the commander question worth a fabulous 75 TNG points. And I feel it in my bones that somebody's going to take the front lead off this one. So, yeah. What's the name of the Astor's family cat? Is it A, Pinches, B, Patches, C, Pipping, D, Pussy Galore, or E, none of the above?
I know.
What's the name of the Astor family's cat? Is it A, Pinches, B, Patches, C, Pippin, D, Pussy Galore, or E, none of the above?
Yeah, I only know because there's another 3-color cat that lives over the road, and I call it exactly the same name, even though I don't even know if that's his actual name.
I think there's going to be some B's going on here.
BBB.
My
I
chat
also
wasn't
answer
catching
B.
up with itself.
I'm going to go B.
Me too.
I'm totally not copying everybody else.
It's only Kaz left to answer. Go B, Karen.
Get a B in there. Can I have a B, please, Bob? Oh, no.
If you want my advice, Karen, I really wouldn't.
I have no idea whether this is all entirely true because I don't know anything about feline genetics, but apparently the cat, which is a calico 3-colored cat, is referred to as a he, and apparently that's extremely rare because apparently almost all 3-colored cats are female. A male calico would have to have a rare condition where they have 3 sex chromosomes because in order to have be a calico, you'd need to have 2 X chromosomes. So it either needs to be a female or be a male with this weird genetic disorder where it has 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y chromosome. So, there's no way of knowing its true gender, but apparently a male calico is extremely, extremely rare.
Wow. Well, there you go.
For all of those of you who really wanted to know about feline genetics.
It's like I learned this week that if you have a white cat with mismatching eyes, like one brown eye and one blue eye, white cats with mismatching eyes are always deaf.
Oh, right.
For reasons I do not know why.
What? Like they can't hear, deaf?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Like not dead?
No, they're deaf,
It's just some sort of combination of genetics.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nearly
Cool,
always deaf.
interesting.
Sometimes you get one that's not deaf, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's not very rare that people put B as the answer.
No, that was pretty common.
So you've got 6 Bs. What's
And
the
I've
right
got-
answer?
He's covered in bees.
I've got 6 wrong people
Oh.
because the family's cat name was Pussy Galore. Jeremy's cat was called Patches.
Yes.
No.
Patches it was.
Everybody getting that awesome commander promotion. Commanders, all of you, one and all.
It's a commander party and everyone's invited.
75 TNG points for everyone. Do you want a roundup of scores?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, it's really quite simple.
I thought it might be.
Yeah, because everybody is on 100 and... No, hold on. Wait a minute.
Oh, no, it's very simple, apart from he's completely got it wrong.
So, shush, be quiet.
Right,
Everybody is on 125 points.
Right.
Everybody's on the commander ranking, so that's the good thing.
Easy. Yeah.
And Maz is on 100 points.
No. Can't we just give her 25 points? No.
Well,
Is that not
since
the way it
you're so
works?
rich with them, you can if you like.
No, I'm not going to mess
Give
about.
me 25 of your points.
No, that's all right.
Yes,
No,
actually,
no,
let's do
no,
that.
no,
Maz.
no,
Let's do that.
No.
So, as the quizmaster, I make the decision. Everybody is on 125
God damn it.
TNG points, except for Monty, who's now on 100 after his generous pass of 25 TNG points to Maz and Bob.
I feel robbed.
Very,
Robbed.
very good display of commander values there.
There you
Commander
go.
Monty.
I like to share.
Ah, thank you, Monty.
You're very welcome. Right. Act 3. On the bridge, Geordie reports he's still seeing fluctuations in the containment field, and Data says that there's a beam of highly charged particles emanating from the planet. Troy senses the presence on the Enterprise. Dun 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 dun. And Riker orders yellow alert. In Jeremy's quarters, Jeremy is confused why his dead mum is talking to him. She tells him she will never leave him again and gives him a hug. There's also hugs in this episode. She tells him they have to go to the planet, as that's where they're going to live now. Worf arrives and alerts the bridge that Lieutenant Astor's presence. Picard orders Worf not to interfere and orders security to move into the area but to keep its distance. Astor tells Worf she will take care of the child and leaves for the transporter room. When she arrives in transporter room 3, she orders O'Brien to beam them down, but Picard arrives and asks who she is and what she wants. She says she's there to take care of the boy, but Picard is not moved. He tells Jeremy that she appears to be his mum, but she isn't. Worf grabs the kid, and the Astor thing disappears. And that's the whole of Act 3.
The Astor thing.
Yeah.
There was a on the music front, the composer, Dennis McCarthy, was saying that, he tried to balance the score throughout the whole of this episode with like sadness, but then with an undertone of threat from potential danger and aliens. And it's like, you can just imagine it. It's like sad song, da-dum. Sad song, sad song, da-dum. But yeah, I mean, it has like almost all the way through it. If like there's like this background score going on through virtually every scene, and it is sort of quite ominous, I'd say, the music.
There's been more threatening aliens than ones that just want to take care of people.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, but they don't know for sure. I mean, it's trying to abduct this child, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that was the end of Act 3. I'll carry on with Act 4, shall I, G? Yeah. Do you want to spring
By all means.
Another question quite yet?
Sprint on.
So, Jeremy is upset by this development, so Troy escorts him back to his quarters, saying that if that wasn't his mum, why would she want to beam down to the planet? Oh, yes, Troy was saying that wasn't his mum, because why would his mum want to beam them down to the planet that's just dust and rocks? However, when they get back to the quarters, it's not his quarters, but his house on Earth. The Asta being is showing Jeremy what awaits him on the planet, rather than just dust and rocks that Troy alluded to. Troy's like, but it's not real. And the Asta thing is like, but that's really Patches. And Jeremy's like, hell yes, that's Patches. And it's all real. It's not Pussy Galore. Troy tries to point out that his mum didn't have these superhuman abilities, but Jeremy doesn't care, as it beats losing his mum. Troy reports all this to the bridge and explains to Picard that the entity just wants to ease his pain and doesn't understand why there's such resistance from the crew. It only wishes to make Jeremy happy. The crew on the bridge can understand why. The crew on the bridge can understand why, so Picard orders her to stay put and monitor the situation. Geordi thinks that increasing the field harmonics of the shields will cut the beam to the planet, so Riker informs Deanna to stand by. Troy tells Jeremy it's time for this to end, but his fake mum says she's never going to leave him again, but promptly disappears, along with his Earth home. Jeremy's left distraught. So
Deanna had such confidence in what they were doing at that point. Like they were just trying something on the, but she was like, "This is about to all end." It's a good job, like their plan worked. Otherwise, she'd have ended up looking a bit stupid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she made a giant leap in assumptions there. She just knows her crew so well that she knew they were on it. So she was like, "It's about to all disappear," and it did. And the kid from all that gets a hug from Troy. There's another hug. On the bridge, Data confirms that the beam has been severed. But just as they think they can relax, a more powerful version emerges. A blue plasma bolt hits the ship, shaking everyone around. It enters transporter room 3 and seemingly threatens O'Brien. It then takes out a couple of security guards and recreates Jeremy's home once more. The being, as Asta tells Jeremy, they are going home, and there will be no one to stop them this time.
And by now, the kid's pretty messed up, right?
Oh, he's...
they're trying to do all this to help him, and this has got to be probably the most traumatic of everything. Just all this, is she, isn't she? She's there, she's gone, she's there, she's gone.
Troy
all these
basically...
adults trying to tell him what to do.
Troy needs to book out like our calendar for the next few years. She's got some hard work ahead of her. Yeah. So yeah, that was the end of Act 4. I think we got a question.
Apparently there was a whole transporter room 3 shows them on deck 6, then several shots of the turbo lift shows deck 12. That whole corridors being mislabeled thing again.
Yeah, pretty common.
Mm-hmm. I'm out of gin as well. I don't know if you finished yours yet.
Oh, no, I haven't. No.
Oh, it's because you've been talking so much more than me, see?
That's true. Ooh.
Well, did I hear you mention question time?
Yes.
Yes, question time.
So this question is the themed question. I'm calling it the adoption question this week. It's worth 75 TNG points, no rank into play. And because it's a themed question, I happen to have chosen a question that's really not related to anything in this episode, but
Oh, great.
let's see how we go. So, Worf at one point offers to adopt Jeremy Astor through a ceremony called the bonding. What is the family name of the human parents who adopted Worf?
Oh.
I'll give an additional bonus 25 points if you can name both parents.
Have we met them yet?
No.
I don't really care.
So it would only be people that have watched Next Gen before that would know. So sorry, Mickey. I know what their surnames are, but I can't think what their first names are.
Is there no multiple choice on this?
No.
It's like it's Russian sounding
Yeah.
because they're Russian. It's like
I'll have to wait till other people put something in chat before I can
it's
say
like
them.
the Wazinskis, but not. I don't know.
Tchaikovsky's.
The Tchaikovskys. No one's going to know the answer to that, G.
I do.
Apart from Maz.
And people that Google. So
People that
No, that's true.
Pulaski Trailblazer says
The Pulaskis.
Can you imagine if he was adopted by Pulaski?
That'd be genius.
Nah, she kind of liked him in a special way.
She did. We didn't realise that there was a whole sort of subplot with her and Worf.
Yeah.
That was a shocker.
funny.
That was. Yeah. Just goes to
I think
show
it was one-sided, but-
watching these things back just opens up things to a whole new light. You know.
Mary Joseph Rubles.
That's a good guess.
Mary and Joseph?
Joseph sounds about right, but it's definitely not Rubles.
I'm going to go with Bob Jones.
Bob Jones.
Yeah.
It's a good
Wait
answer.
for Who and Orf?
Who and Orf? Who orphaned Worf?
Who and Orf? Yeah.
Orf and who?
Orphan who?
Ah.
Yeah.
Smiler's asking if she missed question time.
Yeah, no, don't worry. There was nothing for you to type this time. It was free. Well, yeah.
A single parent of Postman Pat.
Worf at one point offers to adopt Jeremy Astor for a ceremony called the bonding. What is the family name of the human parents who adopted Worf?
Nobody knows.
Shall I answer now?
Go on. I think we've all had a good stab at it.
I believe it is the Rozhenkos.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Now you say it. Now you say
I
it.
can't
And
remember
did
their
you-
first names.
Oh, you can't remember their first name?
No, I haven't
Oh.
got a clue.
Okay. Well, you got the 75 TNG points. So that now puts you on 200, Maz. And you're in the lead.
I could give Monty back his 25 points now, couldn't I?
Yeah, but what you don't understand is was it?
Rozhenko.
Rozhenko is Jones in Russian.
Oh,
So-
there you go.
Right. Okay. Anyway, it was Helena and Sergei.
But you see, Sergei is Bob in Russian.
Bob
Right.
Jones.
That's right.
So
I was right.
Sergei Rozhenko is Bob Jones in Russia.
Exactly.
If there's anybody that's watching that's from Russia, could you just confirm whether that is correct or
Yeah.
not?
It'd be a hell of a thing. If it came back, I was right. That'd be,
It could be a thing, though.
though.
It could be a thing.
You never know. You never know. Yeah. Yeah. I threw in a little joke at the end of that there, where Jeremy, where Asta tells Jeremy they're going home and there will be no one to stop us this time. Because she pretty much says that line, but I think it sounds a lot like Darth
4
Vader
times. Oh, right.
from A New Hope. There will be no one to stop us this time. Anyway. Yeah. So, was there any points to give away, or are we not giving away points? We're not bothering
It's just
that
me.
round?
I got 75, and it took me up to
was
200.
that,
so-
sorry,
Wasn't listening.
I wasn't listening. Sorry, I was elsewhere.
So you got
finishing your
Maz.
gin.
Oh,
You got
yeah,
Maz
yeah.
on 200 points and in the lead. Everybody else except for yourself is on 125. You're on 100, which basically means that the next question is the captain question, which is worth 100 TNG points, which means that everybody has a chance of winning except for you, Monty.
Right.
Yeah, but he should have his 25 points back that he gave me earlier.
Well,
when
if
I
you
was
want
last.
to give him back, I'll give him back to him, and then you're on.
No.
100.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
There you go. Because the captain question, as we all know, is fastest finger on the buzzer, so it'll make it more fun if everybody's got a chance of being the winner.
Okay. Right, so we're into the final act already. It's flown by. Troy reports this to Picard, so he sends Worf to the transporter room whilst he himself heads to cut them off. Worf and O'Brien enter transporter room 3, but the energy life form escapes. Asta tries to head off with the boy, but is thwarted by force fields in the corridor. Picard arrives and asks Jeremy how he's doing, and Jeremy's like, "Oh, I'm fine." And then after a bit of probing, he admits he may be a little frightened. Picard says that that's to be expected. Well, he's been through a lot today. It's been a big day, to be fair. In engineering, the energy beam is learning things. It's trying to work out how to use the transporter systems and bring them back online, but Geordie's keeping it at bay. The Asta thing tells Picard that it's only a matter of time before they can power the transporters themselves. Picard is quick to ask, to whom else do you speak? She tells them that 2 beings once lived on the planet below, one physical and one energy. The physical life forms killed themselves in the war, but the energy ones won't let anyone else suffer because of the awful war. She wants to provide him. Well, yeah.
Just before you move on pictures, I just thought I would give a bit of random bit of trivia. The young man in the picture, you just moved on.
Oh, yeah. See the back of his head there.
You
can see the back of his head there. Yeah.
Yeah, so the young lad that we can see the back of the head now. Do you know what he went on to do? What he does as a career now?
He went on. He was on RoboCop 2.
That's correct. He was on RoboCop 2.
That's all I know.
Do you know what he does now?
He's not an actor.
He is not. He's a realtor in California.
A realtor. So he used his childhood acting money to buy property, and he's now into property. A lot of famous people do that. Yeah. Yeah. I wondered, I asked this question in the Facebook, in the Facebook post earlier today, as Maz was promoting our TNG review in the Star Trek fan club Facebook group, why they never went anywhere with this story. Because the bonding is all about this young lad here we see before us, bonding with Worf's family and becoming his adopted brother and being part of the.
Well, they did in the novels,
but they didn't on screen, did they? They didn't.
No, they didn't. But then, a lot of what is relevant that's in the novels wouldn't have been relevant during TNG, though.
Maz pointed out in the Facebook posts that I wonder if Martok in Deep Space Nine realised he was getting this kid when he adopted Worf's family into his own. But yeah, he would He joined the Martok family in the end. He didn't even realize it.
And the other thing is, wouldn't it have been a bit interesting, really? Because obviously, Worf was a Klingon brought up by humans, and it might have made a nice little sideline to have this little human trying to be brought up by a Klingon. Sort of kind of reversing the dichotomy of what Worf went through and seeing how he coped with it would have been quite fun.
Now, I heard rumors back in the 1990s, and I don't know how true it was, that this child, I don't want to slander anyone, but this child actor was a bit of a pain in the ass on set and wound up a number of the Star Trek actors and the producers behind the scenes, and any ideas of bringing him back and continuing the storyline sort of disappeared from their consciousness because they didn't want to go through that again. But that's me dipping into my wine-addled brain in the 19th. So I don't know how true that is, and I haven't looked up to see if there's anything online about that. But yeah, that's what I heard. So yeah, there we go.
I'm down to drinking just plain tonic now, by the way.
Oh, that's not good, is it? You want to open up another gin? There you go. So yes, we're into the last home straight, aren't we? I've forgotten where I was at. Oh yes. So yes, the Asta thing wants to provide him with a life where he feels no pain and no anguish. But because that's an essential part of who we are. It reminds me of that scene in Star Trek V where Cybok tries to take away their pain, and they're on like the 10 forward of Enterprise A, and Kirk's like, I need my pain, I want my pain, and refuses to go through with it. Where was I? I've lost my... Oh, yes. Troy asks, are they going to provide the child with an education, friends, a wife, a family? And to that, the Asta being isn't sure what to say. She's like, oh, gosh, didn't think of that. Crumbs. And because, like, you're going to take a large undertaking. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, and he says, you offer a memory that whilst comforting isn't reality. He then orders Worf and Wes to join them and introduces the boy to Wesley. Troy asks him why he was finding it difficult to talk to Jeremy about it, and Wes explains how it was difficult to talk about this subject. And for a long time, whilst he was brave on the outside, inside he was very angry. He was very angry at Picard. Not because he delivered the bad news, but because he led the awaiting mission that killed his father. And Picard came home when his dad didn't. And he was angry about it. But he's not angry with him now. He said that disappeared a long time ago. And I thought that was quite a good scene as well for Wes to sort of confront Picard with those emotions that he'd never really, expressed before. And I thought it was quite powerful stuff. Worf says that... Troy turns to Jeremy and says, you must be very angry at Worf for the same reasons. And Jeremy's like, yes, I am. And confronts Worf. He's like, yes, that's a good point. Why did you come back? And Worf says that he also lost his parents at Kittimer, and humans helped him, and now he wants to help Jeremy in the same way. He asks him to take part in the bonding so that he becomes part of Worf's family and becomes his brother. And with that, the Colonian energy being gives up and goes home. We end the scene with Jeremy and Worf lighting the candles. Oh, no, we don't have that. Lighting the candles in the blue room together.
probably at the very
It
beginning.
is there. There we go. And I think my puppy's done a poo in the kitchen. Because I can smell it.
That potty training's still going really well, then.
It's not, no. It's not going so well. Yeah. He might have been trying to signal to me, but, you know, me being me, I'm just on the interwebs doing my thing. I might be wrong. Smiler Rainbow's checking it out now.
Smiler's just posted the last question I asked about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. Well done.
Thanks, Smiler.
Thanks, Smiler.
Bring Monty some ice. Please.
Yeah.
Are we ready for captain question and finding out who is this week's winner?
Yes, we are.
Oh, don't sound too excited.
Flingies on buzzers.
Fingies on buzzers.
It's the quickest on the buzzer, so drop a little wave in chat so that I know that you're ready for the question. That'd be a nice
just going to grab
thing
some
to
ice.
check.
Monkey Man's grabbing some ice, so quickly ask before he gets back.
Just give us a wave in chat. Let us know that you're ready for the captain question. You got your finger on the buzzer. Oh, we've got Mazza waving.
Mickey's ready.
There's no ice.
I thought you put the machine on.
I know, I did put the machine on, but I think it got switched off. So,
Oh.
Trailblazers.
Resi.
Resi?
You know what I meant.
I think both of you need to, maybe cut back on the gin because you both
Only had
struggling with
one.
the words.
I've only had one. Oh, no. What are we doing?
Well, maybe it affects your speech like straight away. I don't
I'm
know.
waving.
Smiler Rainbow sent lots of waves, like sea waves.
How do I make this disappear? Oh, there we go.
Just
Oh,
Kaz left, but she didn't answer the last question either. And Stu Plum has sent the word wave. So everybody except Karen is ready. So I say go.
Okay, go. All right, here we go. Quickest answer. How old is Jeremy Astor at the time of his mother's death? How old is Jeremy Astor at the time of his mother's death? Answers need to be in chat.
No, it's not quite fair because I am on chat, so I get mine in probably before a lot of other people.
That's okay. It has to be the right answer, though, Monty. So, yeah. So we have a winner.
Oh, good.
We have a captain for the week.
Ooh.
I appreciate everybody's answers. There was 2 people that got the right answer, but it's all about who's in there first. So, congratulations to Captain Mazamet Bob, who brings home a maximum 275 points, which was a good 150 points ahead of anybody else, and takes home the title of captain. Well done. Round of applause. Yay.
You know, I've never won it before because I've never normally actually answered all the questions.
No.
Or bothered trying. Or, it feels like a bit of a cheat as I'm like a host. But
This is a new
I
experience
just
for you.
decided to answer them this week. What can I say?
Yeah. With the help of my points.
Stu Plum saying it's all because of the lag. Ha ha ha.
No, you got your points back. You got your points back. That was
know.
actually with Maz back on her normal points.
Now, Smiler Rainbow has brought me frozen blackberries as ice cubes.
Very cool.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It would be. It is if you like blackberries.
Are we going for a cuckoo supernova then?
A cuckoo cachoo. Yeah, we're just getting through the gins. Don't mind us. Cuckoo
Oh,
supernova.
it smells really nice. Smells kind of
44%.
citrusy.
So if I forget to mention, I will be dashing off quite soon after the stream because I'm uploading an episode of the next episode of G-Star Vault.
Oh, cool.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Which I haven't done a vault in about 3 months almost. So pretty pleased to have got one done today, and we'll be uploading it after this stream. So watch out for that one.
Very cool.
Very good.
And I see the channel's on 97, so just 3 away from the 100. We just need to get those
So close.
3 subscribers. So please share with your family and
Thanks for all
friends.
the congrats, guys.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
First win.
First win. Yeah, right. So we're at that time.
That's real nice. Smooth and citrusy. It's like biting into a fresh orange.
It is citrusy, isn't it? I'm not sure it goes well with blackberries, but
That
it's what it
sounds
is.
delish.
Yeah. So it's that time of the episode where we rate our episode. We give it from score 0 to 10.
Trailblazer wants to know what channel the Vault's on. Is that on?
It's still on
It's
this,
on this side, Montauban Live, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on this channel, Montauban Live.
If you go to playlists on the channel Trailblazer, it'll bring up all the playlists, and G-Star Vault is a playlist as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Excellent. Right. Yes. So if you could put your scores for this episode in chat.
In chat.
Oh, I need my score panel. Reaching. Got him. Oh, what to score it?
What to score it? What to score it? That's the question. Yeah. Mickey's gone with a 7. Stupum's gone with a 7.
Trailblazer's gone with a 7. Everybody's doing 7s.
Yeah.
What about us? You got the spreadsheet?
Yes, I have. I've got it all
Has
loaded
everybody
up
got their paddles ready?
already.
Yeah. I am decided. I am locked in.
Right then.
Thank you.
I'm ready to lift.
Are we right? Should we 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, we should.
3, 2, 1. I gave it an 8.
Oh, controversial.
I went big. I went
You
big
did
on
go
it.
big.
How could you score that episode an 8? You
Well-
ridiculous. Like, no, that's just ridiculous. That's just what is going on with you.
I don't know. Once again,
Have you
it was
lost
just-
the plot?
It was one of those
Oh,
episodes.
his opinion was closest to everybody else in chat. They all said
I
7.
don't care. I don't care. He's become like this generous human being.
I mean, you said
I
you
miss-
thought you
I
went
miss
high early in the season, but now you're just
I miss the
staying
cynical
high.
Monty. I miss
well-
the cynical.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's
It was all the emotion stuff. It got to you, didn't it?
Yeah.
as a father.
parent.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I think it was that, and I just thought there were some great performances. I think it's because I never liked this episode, like really much. I just thought it was boring and dull, and just one of those episodes
When you
I-
had taste.
I never watched, I never went back and watched it very often, just skipped over it as just one of those
As you should.
touchy-feely boring ones. But now I'm older, I watch it with a new appreciation and new eyes, and I really like the direction of the scenes, the shots. I loved the way it focused closely in on the characters. I loved the interrelation between the Crushers, and I just found I really enjoyed it. And so again, I've just gone with my heart on. Just thought it was as good. I enjoyed it as much and thought it was as good an episode as last week. So I thought, F it. I'm going to give it an 8.
Trailblazer. Well, Mickey says it's the gin talking, and Trailblazer says that G-Star is the Crave Revel Horwood of the TNG review show, saying it's all rubbish and giving it a low score.
That is true. That is true.
Sorry,
Yes.
I mean, look, ultimately,
Does
you know,
kinda
towards
look
the
like
end.
him. What?
Anyway, I'm just going to ignore that.
Is it gorgeous, darling?
It's gorgeous, darling. Yeah.
Yeah, so towards the end of that narration, when you were talking about that scene at the end, and you were saying, I thought it was really, some great acting in that scene. I couldn't disagree with you more. Since the first time I watched that episode to yesterday when I watched that episode, it makes me want to cringe. Like, I think the acting is so wooden in it. If I was directing, I'd have been like, sorry guys, come on, let's retake it. Let's make this seem natural. This seems so wooden. It's either the bad scripting or bad acting, one or the other. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty I'm all about emotion, but that's pretty naff episode.
No, it's not naff. It's not naff. And I tell you what else it reminded me of a little bit. It was like it reminded me of Star Trek Pilot, the very first episode, The Cage. Like not in tone or anything like that, but just the concept of these powerful like beings could take someone and recreate reality for them so that they could live out a fake life. Because that's exactly
it's a little bit like the Survivors in a way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like the Survivors as well. Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, it just made me think of The Cage and how they had that survivor, that woman who they tried to put back and give her a happy life, but they really didn't know humans or how to do it, and until the Enterprise crew came along. Yeah. There you go.
I mean, I almost went with this tick, so I was like 5 or 6. I mean, I did enjoy it a bit more than I thought I would and what I remembered. But I've got to say, I did still just find it a little bit boring. Yeah. And even with my trivia and goofs, I mean, literally was one page. I've never had so few bits of trivia or goofs for a single episode in all the 2.5 series we've done so far. There was just so little to comment about it, and it kind of just went with the whole, I thought it was all right. I thought there were a couple of good scenes, but I didn't think it was, particularly awe-inspiring. So I just gave it a middle score.
I think from a storytelling and a script point of view, it just sits in this middle ground where it doesn't achieve any objective.
It was supposed to. I mean, I like the theory behind it. So the whole idea was supposed to be that, you've got, families on the Enterprise, and, they're often going out and exploring and doing all this stuff, but they hadn't really dealt with the consequences of having a family on board and the consequences of, the military and what would happen. And, so they kind of wanted to explore some of that. And I think that was quite a good idea. I can't remember how to say good night in Klingon that we learned last week. But good night, Stu. So I think that the idea of exploring that dimension of the ship was quite a good one.
I mean, what I mean about it is that there was an opportunity for this story to be one of two things: either a really emotional, heartfelt story where you're looking at it through the eyes of the child that's been left, parentless, which is a really, really raw, emotive kind of like story, or you've got the opportunity for it to be really scary because there's this entity that's trying to take a child away from the Enterprise. And I don't think it delivers on either of those. I just think that there's not enough about, it's just, even, choosing a child actor or whatever, just absolutely rubbish. And it just didn't, and it never has convinced me of its real emotion.
I do think the child actor wasn't that great. He was a bit...
and that's... I agree. That could have made a big difference. Yeah. And the original story was actually really just dealing with that grief thing. It didn't have anything to do with aliens. And it was about a kid who then, because he'd lost his mum, he programmed her into the holodeck, and he's spending all of his time in the holodeck with this fake version of his mum.
That would have been better.
And the crew are like, oh, what do we do? Do we get him to leave? Like, how do you deal with a kid who's clinging on in that way? But that storyline was vetoed because they wanted to, to have aliens, basically. So, but I think that would have actually made it so much more real, actually, and if you'd had that combined with a really good child actor, it could have been an amazing story.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I was a little bit optimistic with my 8. But I always think it's better if one of us goes out on the limb,
I mean, we
generates
were quite
conversation.
extreme ends, Yeah, definitely.
I was surprised that you guys scored Who Watches the Watchers so high. So I thought I was.
I love that episode. It's always been one of my faves.
That's good. Yeah. So this episode is third best of the season so far because of my
It's
8.
also third worst.
It's third worst. Yeah, it's third worst. It sits in the middle at the moment of this season.
And you also need to add Mazza McBob's win on for the season.
Oh, yes, I didn't. No.
I don't even think my name's down there, is it? Because I've never
No.
won before. Look at that.
There you go.
I am a one-time captain.
You are. Congrats.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
Congratulations.
and there weren't many goofs, so that was, shows the quality of the episode when there's not much wrong things to talk about with it.
Or it just means that not enough people care about this episode to probe into it.
Well, there were no sort of props, no scenes, it was just up close on people's faces. So it's a bit hard to get a goof with somebody's face.
Yeah. Yeah. Trailblazer says he wins every week when he's on his own in his kitchen. Yeah.
I like that.
I have to say, the second gin was actually quite nice.
Oh, it's really nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Cuckoo. Who knew?
Very nice. So I suppose the next question is, you're going to ask me, so what's up next week? And I'll tell you, it's Booby Trap.
Oh, is that good?
Booby Trap.
Is that? Oh, yeah. That's the one where it starts with the crew are old, and they've got a pitch. They can get the camera into the bridge, and they're all like skeletons sat in the chair. Is that the Booby Trap?
I don't think so. I don't know. Let's read the synopsis.
They get stuck in it. They go to investigate the ship, and then they get stuck in the same
careful what you
kind
Google,
of...
Mark.
Sorry. Booby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was almost a completely different show.
Booby Trap.
Okay, so the
Enterprise
synopsis...
triggers.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You've done it. Oh, you go on then. Go on. Give it to us.
Enterprise triggers an ancient yet effective trap left by an extinct race with a perfectly preserved derelict ship serving as cheese for Picard, luring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was right. I like that episode.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me remember.
Everyone who's watching for the
I
first
will.
time should enjoy that one.
It should. And it's a good episode for Geordie. For Geordie fans out there, it's a good episode for Geordie to follow.
Another one, just another cheap plug. If you also want some more enjoyment, join us on at 8 p.m. on Friday night for the Monty Zone.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are a week delayed, so apologies about that, guys. But we are coming to you this Friday. So join us
What's
at
the
8
topic?
p.m.
This week we're talking about what do you call it? Not resurrections. Not resurrection.
Reincarnation.
I can't remember.
It's not gin again.
Resurrection.
Well, resurrection's kind of close.
Yeah,
Similar.
yeah, it's sort of there.
In it-ish.
But
reincarnation.
not right, but
yeah, that's the one. That's what we're going to talk about this Friday.
We're delving into reincarnation for the very first time.
Okay.
We've not talked about that before, so yeah, it'll be interesting what we find.
Cool.
Yeah, 8 o'clock on this channel on Friday. So thank you, my co-host, for joining me this evening to talk about the bonding. Thank you to Trailblazer, Mickey Stuplum, and Karen, who seems to have disappeared.
Smiley Rainbow.
Smiler Rainbow, my ever-suffering wrench, who's been on poo duty and
Ice duty.
gin duty. Yeah,
She's just too good to you.
she is. Yes.
And get well soon, Hydro and Alpal.
Yeah. Get well soon.
Yeah.
And yes, that's all from us. Join us next Wednesday at 8 o'clock for the next TNG review show, or Friday for the Monty Zone. Cheers.
Ta-ra!